Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Charbonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. You know, it's one of the things that I talk about all the time. In my 55 years, as of yesterday, living here in Houma, in Terrebonne Parish, some of the pride that we have goes back to our history. We have very little more to talk about with great history than Southdown Plantation. Very excited to have with us Ms. Celeste Landry, the Managing Director. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Very welcome. And we have Ms. Mary Oquin, who is a THACS board member. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about this wonderful thing that we call Southdown. But I don't know that people realize the importance of this plantation and or what the sugar industry has been affected by Southdown and what it's done for so many years. Let's talk a little bit about the rich history.
Yeah, correct. I started about a year and a half over there.
Okay.
And did not realize the history of
Okay.
Southdown. I was born and raised here.
Right.
Passed by. You
Right.
know, you see all the sugar cane and all.
Right.
But I never actually sat and really looked, you know, and got the history of it. So I started working there, started reading, and did not realize. The first thing a lot of people ask is, why did they name it Southdown?
Okay.
You'd think it would be the last name of somebody.
Okay.
Well, I started reading and all, and come to find out it was a breed from England. Originally, the miners were from England. Their family was from England. And so they needed sheep to help with the grounds because it was so big. And they couldn't get regular sheep because they had taller legs. So the Southdown sheep from England had short legs, and their coats were really, they were real valuable,
Okay.
you know. So they ended up shipping in these sheeps,
And they're the Southdown
and that's
sheep.
Southdown sheep.
I think I may have a history of being
It's-
part of the Southdown sheep. I have very short legs and a thick coat, except for my head. So I may have
Yeah.
relatives at Southdown.
That's right.
And so what a great history. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
And I've gone through there multiple times. I've toured
Correct.
3 times in my life and
Yes.
hosted so many MC different events there. We're going to talk about events a little
Yes.
bit later, but that's so very cool because you're
Yes.
exactly right. We ask about the different plantations in our area, and very
Correct.
often there's a name associated with
Yeah.
a surname or a family name, or
Exactly.
both. And here
Exactly.
we have Southdown based on the
Sheep.
sheep.
Yeah.
Very good.
And
I like
also
that.
the
Okay,
history.
something else.
The history, pink. Why is
Right?
the house
Why
pink?
is it pink?
Okay, these are 2 of the most popular questions we get.
Okay.
So the reason why the house is pink is because back then, you know, the bricks are kind of like that terracotta color.
Right.
And it was, they were on, they actually made them on property.
Okay.
So they have that terracotta, and our paints today are thicker, and so we have, you know, people are starting to do that whitewash now.
Right.
Well, that's what they had back then. So when they would paint the house, it would bleed through, and it kept bleeding through pink. Is that cool?
That
I
is,
mean,
that's
so
really cool.
so it's like, okay, that's why it's pink.
Right.
You know?
And we maintain that historic representation of the building, historic representation of the plantation, so that it is
Yes.
representative of it, how it looked years ago.
Years ago. That's right.
naturally, and now we paint it that color purposefully.
Purpose. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Very nice. Now, a lot of people don't realize who owns Southdown or where monies come from for Southdown. It's actually owned by the historical, right?
Yes.
Right.
Association.
The Terrebonne Historical and Cultural Society does own it. And so years ago, when Southdown was shut down, the refinery was sold and sent off to Guatemala, gentlemen in this community accepted Southdown from the corporation that owned it
Okay.
and created FACS, or the Historical and Cultural Society. And so that's who is owning it and managing it for the past 40, 50 years now.
Okay.
And so that's what's going on as far as ownership.
Right. And there are no monies that come in either by parish, by state, or nationally to maintain this historical treasure, right?
None at all. we are a nonprofit,
Okay.
and we get no funding from the community, state, or federal government. All of our funding comes through rentals of the property
Right.
or through tours.
Okay. And we have a membership drive, right? People
Yes,
can
we
be a
do.
part of the THACS nonprofit. And that's another way that we can kind of generate funds as we look back at, some of the people who have probably had relatives that lived on the plantation, is, doing these
Correct.
checks and these
Absolutely.
background checks of checking our history and seeing who does what, checking into genealogy. I think a lot of people realize, oh, I had a relative that actually lived on
Yes.
Southdown. So maybe, just maybe, our family should be involved and do that. The other thing that we do is doing fundraisers. And so I think when we talk about the bricks and some of the challenges to the bricks from Ida, we'll talk a little bit about some of the fundraisers and what those go to and why they're important. We'll get a little more time to be able to spend doing that. But Mary and Celeste, I appreciate you guys being here and talking with us a little bit and letting people know exactly what Southdown Plantation was, what Southdown Plantation is, and how we make plans to see the beautification of that and the being able to keep up the grounds with that, as we, with all of the different organizations that come and do lots of different events there, and the big one coming up with the fall marketplace. That's a really big one. I want to
Yes.
talk about that.
Correct.
Aaron, put the first one up. I want you all to be able to see what happens to some of these majestic oaks as we deal with hurricanes like Ida. This was one of the trees that came down and had to be removed.
Correct. Correct.
And so we can see that there are changes that take place when we have dramatic events like this hurricane. And so, some of us lost some trees in our yard. Very few people lost a majestic oak like that. And now you see some of the bricks from Ida that came off of the chimney from Southdown Plantation. And so one of the things that we're having to deal with there is being able to work on this old plantation home that is very difficult to do recovery on. It's not like redoing your house.
Correct.
Because we've got to make sure that we go through the historical foundation to make sure that we're doing everything right and the right way. And so we see the tree that came down, we see the bricks that came down from the chimney. It's important for us to celebrate this grand reopening, right?
Correct.
So-
Yes.
and that grand reopening is going to take place on September the 6th, 2023. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. They are open for tours Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Saturday from 10 to 1. Very often, as the fall approaches, we're going to have a lot of events that are going to be there. But look how beautiful Southdown is and some of the recovery that they've done. So, Aaron, let's maybe go through some of these pictures as we can have Celeste and Mary tell us a little bit about it. This is our preparation for Mardi Gras, right?
Mardi Gras, yes. We have a big selection of Mardi Gras in our gift shop. It's a 3-room gift shop.
Right.
And a lot of people didn't know we had this.
Right.
And it's gorgeous. I mean, we have very unique gifts there. We open Monday through Friday,
Right.
from 9 to 4, and on Saturdays, 10 to 1.
10 to 1?
Yes.
So, Aaron, I want to go back and show them what happened with the Mardi Gras room and what it looked like. So those two top pictures are the damages that were taking place. You can see the windows that were busted in. You can see the damages. Look at the recovery in the bottom pictures. And that is the Mardi Gras room there at Southdown. So, Celeste, tell us a little bit about how this all came to place with the beautification of that Mardi Gras room.
Yeah, there was a lot of damage. Everything was packed up. We lost like 40 windows, and these are
40
yeah,
windows.
these are very unique windows.
Right.
This is not just
They've been there for a minute, right?
correct, correct. So a lot of things had to be special ordered. We had to replace with some regular glass because we couldn't find
Sure.
that, couldn't afford it actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Mardi Gras room, we started completely fresh. We repainted, we restructured everything. I think that people will be very surprised of what they'll see in the museum now.
And so majestic with the staircase and the new floors. And so, Aaron, put that one up if you don't mind. Look at
Yes.
that. Listen, if that doesn't scream, this is how beautiful things were of old, I don't know what does. And so, again, we're showing you pictures of Southdown Plantation and Museum. That is the sugar room, Miss Celeste.
Correct. The sugar room used to be in another room,
Right.
but we moved the sugar room into this room. We have a lot of new exhibits in that room, and also the new room. It's going to be the first responder room.
Oh, my.
Which we're really excited about that.
Wow.
They trying to get it together, and
Okay.
then with Hero Fest coming, it's kind of like, pulling them in all different kind of directions,
Right.
and plus, of course, first responders.
Absolutely.
So they working on that, and so all the sugar room, we have the Mardi Gras room. It's real exciting. It's not just Southdown history. It's Terrebonne Parish history.
And speaking of, we have the room that's dedicated to the cultural history of the Native Americans.
Correct.
Here in our area as well. So the Native people have their room as well as we look at that. Of course, some of the Houma Indians and some of those
Yes.
people that very rich culture here
Yes.
in our area and the impact that they make. And so thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate all those shots. I want to make sure that you know that with the bricks that were on the ground, we also have the Pink Lady Brick fundraiser, right?
Yes, we do. We'll be selling bricks,
Okay.
and we would love for, especially those people who maybe had relatives who lived at Southdown over the years, to make certain that they try to get a brick. We'd like to recognize those families through those bricks, and the fundraiser is going to help us to earn money for Southdown. We had to put out a lot
A lot of money
money.
for renovations, right?
Everybody has a deductible, so
Sure,
do we.
sure.
Yeah.
And
Right,
so
and it's
we'd
big.
like, this is one of our fundraisers this year, and I think it's going to be a great addition to the lawn.
I love it. And the addition to the lawn is also where we talk about, as we close the show here, the Fall Marketplace Craft Show.
Yes.
November the 4th is huge. It
Correct.
is huge in spaciousness. It is huge in the greenery that's covered
Yes.
with a great marketplace. And again, we show you a beautiful picture where you see the greenery in this picture. You won't when it comes to the new events that are coming up and the marketplace, because it's all going to be covered. And so again, 30 seconds or so about marketplace.
We have 300 booths.
Holy cow.
Yes, we have
That's
300
fantastic.
booths. We have awesome food. We get anywhere from 5 to 8,000 people, depending on the weather, of course, rain or shine.
Okay. So
So-
this year, beautiful weather, 10,000
Yes.
people. How about that?
Oh, of course.
Would that be nice?
Yes.
Very good. All right, Aaron, flash that back up one more time. I want people to know, go and visit the newly renovated, open for tours, Southdown Plantation Museum, open for tours Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is your local historical plantation right here in Houma, in Terrebonne Parish. If you haven't seen it, you need to come by and check it out today. Come get a brick, sign up for the events they have coming up. When y'all have new events, we'll have y'all come back. Would that be
Yes.
okay?
Oh, that would be great.
Very good.
Yes.
Miss Celeste, Miss Mary, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And that will do it for this particular edition of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming right here on HTV.